take it away.
Get ready to get dashy, because we're back with some Spark 3. I'm so excited. It's always a great time showing off this game, and I mean, hey, who better to do it than Spark himself? We got the little dude here. Before we begin this category, two big things to explain. First off, this is not any percent. I know typically you'd see me doing any percent runs, but this is actually Spark 2 stages, which, to explain a little bit of this lore, Spark 2 stages is basically a category we made after the first in-game update, version 1.1, which, as a free DLC, added every single stage from this game's predecessor, Spark the Electric Jester 2, for free. I'm not kidding, one of the best game updates of all time. It's super sick. And two, this category is actually a New Game Plus category, which means we, from the get-go, have everything open to us. So that means I'm gonna have to do a little bit of explaining here in this stage, Lost Riviera, which is in the base game. So before we begin, let me go ahead and explain magnet dashing. You see this little enemy here with the little homing attack reticle? Great. Homing attack and air dash in order to cancel off of it and get all of the speed from that air dash into your movement. Otherwise, you just bounce off him, you'd lose all your speed. We don't like that. Additionally, another version of this tech that is very big from the get-go, just immediately, is hyperdashing. You can see the little D-pad in my bottom left-hand corner. There you see the little two arrows on top of each other that are all blue. That is an energy dash. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. There we go. We just zoom on across. It gives us a big burst of speed. And then, if we combine that with the homing attack, much like we did with magnet dashing, we can actually, boom, go flying. That is a hyper dash, and those two things will be immediately obvious when we begin this category. I'll let FM City kind of play for itself, but time will begin when we click start here. So, in 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright. FM City here, first stage of Spark 2. This thing is big and wide open. So that means we can, okay, just immediately start off with running into a wall. That's fine. We can start off going over to our right, and if we hit it well, there we go. We're going to fly up here, and then, boom, there we go. And over to this platform where the end of the stage lies. Just under sub 20. Let's go. right under the 20-second mark. Very nice. 1999. Yeah, you can see immediately just how big magnet dashing and hyper dashing are. Here in FM Downtown, we're going to talk about our next power-up here. We actually have two additional characters just on our sidebar at all times in this category. One is Fark here. Fark is a bit special in the sense that he has... Wait, hold on. Okay. There's a really hard strat you can do there if you get a good angle out of that tunnel that we launched out of, but it's fine. Fark here is very useful for doing magnet dashes off of specifically enemies, because if you don't time a dash well when you're Spark, you will actually just run into the enemy like you saw me do a little bit there. You can also do it, not time it well with Fark, but that's fine. But Fark actually has an invulnerable dash, which means he can just go straight through enemies most of the time, as long as you time it well. So we'll be using him on any magnet dashes that we want to do off of enemies specifically. Unfortunately, it doesn't come in handy when doing hyper dashes, because hyper dashes are a little bit more finicky. We'll talk about that more later on. Here in Floria Highway, this is the one stage in Spark 2 stages that hasn't been just completely broken, because there are a ton of invisible death planes around this stage. However, this is a great time to explain our second character that we'll be using. Other than Spark, of course, we have Safarks, which is which, just like Fark, is actually a New Game Plus reward you get after beating the game. Safarks is a combined version of Fark and Spark, which has a lot of moves that belong to both of them. But mainly, his primary use in a speedrun setting is that he actually has an easier time getting to top speed, and if I remember correctly, I might be misremembering it, but if I remember correctly, it also has a little bit higher of a top speed, which will be very useful in a stage that is running for about 2 minutes. It should be fine, but well, we're gonna do a loop cut right there. So loop-de-loops are, of course, super slow, so we don't want to do them. And then coming up here, we're gonna actually talk about our next power-up, which is called Jester Swipe. Jester Swipe I've been doing all throughout this run already. Jester Swipe is basically, think about it kind of like the light speed dash from Sonic games, where there are little yellow things on the ground that are called bits. These bits will allow us to kind of dash across them, and we can do that to gain a lot of speed. It is very fast to do. We want to do it whenever we can, really. So there, we just did a bunch of them. Anytime you see me kind of jump on top of a little bit, that's so unlucky. That's basically just a Jester Swipe. Unfortunately, we didn't hit a Hyper Dash. However, it doesn't even matter because Spark will just go fast and... Oh, okay, well, we're dead. Never mind. He won't be going fast today. That's okay. Honestly, death in this category is kind of to be expected. This category is actually super, super difficult. Any percent is not easy in of itself, but it gets a little bit worse when you go actual just hyper light speed. It's pretty wild. So expect a few deaths here and there. Make it up. Thank you. We're going to collect some energy off of these enemies and then see if we can't go for a nice backup there. There we go. There's a hyper dash. Just straight over to our goal right through this little tunnel here. There we go. The nice thing about this category is that in Spark 2, there tend to be kind of stage-ending mini-bosses. All of those are cut out in this category, so in the original Spark 2, you'd actually be fighting a mini-boss at the end of that stage, but we don't have to do it because they're just not there. Next up, we have Floria Plant. This stage is a tad annoying. Okay, cool. The enemy just spawned through the floor there. Is what happened. Okay, there we go. We need enough energy in order to build a hyper dash off of this. There we go. And then we're gonna come all the way over here and do something a little bit different. We're gonna line up on the side here and do a different ability called a Cloud Shot. Cloud Shot was actually added in the same update as all of these stages, which is super helpful because Cloud Shot just gives us a little bit of height, which is very, very useful. Unfortunately, missed the Hyper Dash off there. That's okay. Like I said, Hyper Dashes are a bit finicky. They can sometimes just not work properly. It's definitely a timing thing, but the timing is very, very strict to where if you don't hit it, you will literally just do a homing attack. And that's life. That's how it be. Thankfully, Magnet Dashes tend to be a bit easier, so we're not completely hopeless. Next, we have the Floria Plant Tunnel. There is a strat here where you literally just go out of bounds. Unfortunately, I don't really have the energy to do it, so we're actually just going to loop around, and we should be fine. But our next stage, as we finish up here, will be a little bit hard to see. I'm sorry in advance. There's just a lot of fog. You don't have to like close your eyes or anything. It's just it's gonna be a struggle for both of us. Don't worry. This next stage actually took a long time to rat out because of that fog. Floresta Blanca. Don't question too much about the stage names. They're all gonna be kind of weird and esoteric. You can see just right away. Yeah, no, it's foggy out here, and that's fine. Okay, that's nice. That little platform is on a moving cycle, which can be really annoying because if you miss the cycle, it's a few seconds of time loss. Also, the cycle is just completely random, which is really fun. I don't know why that is, but that's fine. In the darkness here, we're gonna just do a few hyper dashes all the way over to this little platforming segment. We're gonna teeter the seesaw and fall off. I deserve that, actually. We're good. I learned my lesson. Don't teeter the seesaw. Here, we're gonna do a hyper dash off an enemy, and then just a bunch of cloud shots in order to get up to the goal. That was actually a very clean Floresta Blanca. To explain kind of what Cloud Shot does, by the way, Cloud Shot just kind of reverses gravity and gives you a little hop, where you don't fall as fast, and so you can just glide down a lot of the time. It's pretty useful, especially in stages where you need some extra height. And we also have a little bit of tech with it that we'll get into later. It has been used already here, but you wouldn't know it if I haven't explained it, and I haven't explained it. So smile. You'll just have to wait for that one. Here is Castella Blanca, another stage from the same kind of area, except a lot different. This is kind of just Hang Manor from Sonic Heroes, in all honesty, and I died. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, deaths will just happen. You know what? We'll make it fun. I'll donate $1 per death. That's 2 so far. Feel free to match it. But, in this stage, there's actually a bunch of kind of, like, gravity shenanigans. You get moved all over the stage, and, we're gonna try to avoid that best we can because of, a little teleporter right here. This teleporter will bring us to reverse. And then here we actually have this big old tower. And this tower can actually just be descended really easily because there's no kill planes or anything here. So what we're going to do here is hop off the wall a bit, and then... Oh, wait, okay. We're good. There we go. We can actually just Jester Swipe through the wall. Jester Swipe is really funny in that it doesn't check for collision between you and Spark. So you literally just, like, tap A next to a wall that has bits on the other side, you go right through. We do that actually a few times in any percent, too. It's not as uncommon as it seems, but that's the only place it's going to be useful for Spark 2 stages, which makes it pretty unique in that sense. I really like that stage, actually. Speaking of stages I like Shantoria Town a lot because it's really short. It's just like 2 or 3 hyper dashes. We're gonna line up here. Boom. We're aiming for this platform in the distance here. Gonna do a hop. Swap to Fark to get 2 dashes. I don't know if I mentioned that. Fark actually has 2 air dashes as opposed to Spark and Sparks' singular air dash. And that's Shantoria Town done. Easy. Just about as fast as the first stage in this run, which I think is really funny. It's a nice breather at the least, so we get to just move on through. Next up is going to be Technoria City. This stage is actually probably one of the hardest in the run because of something called an exhausted magnet dash. We're going to open up here, do a charged Jester dash, which allows us to get up to speed really easily, do a few Jester swipes, and if in the right area, alright. Well, we didn't hit it perfectly, but you can actually get flung up all the way to this little bubble here. Ooh, where am I? Okay, I don't know. It's fine. We'll restart from checkpoint there. Not a biggie. And then to explain what just happened in the beginning of that stage, or of this stage, we're not out of it yet. So magnet dashes use your air dashes in order to get a bunch of speed. However, what happens when you don't have any air dashes? Well, you can still magnet dash, except it's going to be treated a little bit differently as we go through the rest of this stage. Just a few hyper dashes, don't worry about it. Exhausted magnet dashes will actually take your... Okay, we're gonna back that up a little bit, that's fine. Will actually take the angle of which you're dashing towards something and convert that along with the speed of the thing you're dashing off of. So, think of it kind of like a more angular magnet dash, which will allow us to get some extra height, some extra distance, a little, maybe even fling us into the ground really fast if we really want to. It's really useful in a lot of circumstances. I missed the stage I restarted stage! What is happening? I did not mean to restart the stage, I meant to restart the checkpoint. Man, I love menuing. Let me hear it if you're a fan of menuing. Okay, that's fine. Well, you get to see this stage again. That's chill. You know, that's the one thing I was hoping wouldn't happen. But it's fine. Honestly, hey, maybe you get to see this stage's cooler strat. Okay, never mind. Just recently, a strat on this stage was actually discovered that makes this stage actually really cool. Where you do a couple... Okay, cool, dude. That guy just hates me, it's fine. A new strat on this stage was discovered literally the other day, where you do a bunch of exhausted magnet dashes to get to here. It's really difficult, because of course it is, and it's an exhausted magnet dashes. An exhausted magnet dash, those things suck. they're really, really dependent on where you are in relation to both position and height, which is really frustrating. And also depends on your speed, how fast you go afterwards, which is just great. But, hey, Roman, buddy old pal, you got any messages for us while I finish out this stage? That has not gone wrong at all.
The first try always. Just showcasing. It's just showcasing.
Yeah, true.
Knowing the backups and stuff. But absolutely, we have, like, talking about things that can go wrong with Speedrun, a $15 donation by our ever so beloved Argic, which reads,
hey,
hello! This donation is for the times I forgot to split during my speedruns today. Yeah. This is why I don't like manual splitting, because
oh, thank God this game has an auto splitter. It's so nice. It used to not, and who?
Shoutouts to all the lovelies who make auto splitters for us. You are the true legends.
This game was a nightmare to get an auto splitter for. It's a Unity game, so of course it was. But next up, we're gonna go into Terminal Dragon here. This stage has a really tricky strat that I'm hoping to get. Maybe we won't, maybe we will. I won't lie, I haven't gotten it well, ever, so we'll see. But, what we're going to do here is build up a bit of energy by destroying a bunch of enemies, and then come here, switch to Sparks, and, okay, we missed it. No biggie. We want to do a Hyper Dash off of that enemy to just skip all of these platforms and stuff, but that's fine. We'll just go the old-fashioned way, which was, doing all of this. And then... ooh, we don't have enough energy. Oh, okay, never mind. We have an enemy there to bail us out. We'll hyper dash off of that and just run across this wall to get down here. Nice. Well, that isn't exactly how I wanted that to go, but it's okay. We managed. That new strat is also very difficult. It was found a few months ago, and I never really gave it a try until today. I only recently actually swapped over to the update that we're playing on, version 1.2, only recently. It fixed a bunch of bugs, and I don't like that smile, but it's fine. So that strat that we tried to do but failed is really only viable on 1.1 because or 1.2 because it takes a bunch of Jester swipes. The physics got changed between updates. It's a long story. Don't worry about it too much. All you need to know is that updates make things weird, so certain strats not doable on other updates as well. And that's one of those cases, is where that strat just isn't as easy to do on the version I used to play a lot of, but have recently swapped from. Next up, we have Scariostropolis. Shout out to my train fans in chat, because this place has a bunch of them, and we're hoping to not get hit by them, hopefully. We're a bit low on energy. I'm gonna backtrack a bit here just to get some. What we want to do here is... okay, you get to see some of the combat because that's the only enemy nearby. That's fine. What we want to do here is hop on up, grab that blue bubble. Blue bubbles, by the way, give you energy, which is very useful. We want to basically always aim for them because that's what lets us do our cool strats here. And then we're going to aim for the end of this loop-to-loop. Very nice. Even though we had to go back for some energy, that's not a biggie. We're going to aim up here. Nice. And then do a hop with our momentum there. And then hope... ah, okay. I mistimed that a bit, so we're going to do the stage as intended. We're going to come around here and hit this little thing and jump right over it. Otherwise, you get stuck in like an infinite loop. It's very funny, but we don't want that, of course. It would be slow. And then we're just going to come up to the end of the stage. Not a biggie, not a terribly slow Scariostropolis there. Alright, we're getting into some of the later game stages. Scariostropolis is kind of the turning point where things get absurdly difficult in this category because we have 4 stages left. And one of them is Titanic Tower. You can kind of guess from the name what we're going to be doing in this stage. We're going to climb up this massive tower. It is absolutely gigantic, and what we do here is a new tech that you saw earlier. I kind of teased it a bit. We're going to do something called a Cloud Dash, and we're going to do it a lot throughout this entire stage. Cloud Dashes are easy ways to get a lot of height in similar ways as gaining speed to... think of it like speed is to a magnet dash as height is to a cloud dash. Cloud dashes will just get us a bunch of height, so we're hoping to hit them all here. If not, we'll just take the normal stage. There we go. We go absolutely flying. We'll do a quick charge dash in order to cancel our height, because we want to stop here. Nice, another one, but we did hit the little stage poking out at us. This game just wants to harm you. Like Fepper designing this game to mess up speedrunners as much as possible by putting a random lamppost every other square foot. It's great. So we'll just take the casual route here for a little bit. Go on the wall. On the roof, actually. Thankfully, this stage is not too hard to recover from, because we can just take the casual route, which is not a biggie at all. We're gonna hop on over. Actually, we have enough energy to do a cloud dash off you. And wow, we went flying! I was not expecting that one. Alright, so we're coming up on the end of this stage. Honestly, this one being done decently fast is what I'll hope for, because, man, this stage is really tricky. Seriously, in Spark 2, there's an early level exit for this stage, because Lake Fepper, the developer of this game, thought it might be too hard for people to get through in one piece. Thankfully, this game has fall damage, so if we fall too far, we're just dead and we'll respawn to the checkpoint, which is fine. But Titanic Tower is over now. Titanic Tower isn't real. It can't hurt you. We're okay. Next up is probably the coolest stage in the game, and also one of the best songs in Spark 2, I can't lie. Planetary Stripe. This stage will have us thrown all over. It'll swap our gravity. We'll want to avoid this big ol' booster here, because we're going to take advantage of that swapping gravity as we get spiked by the random thing that Lake Pepper placed there just to screw with us. It's okay. What we're going to do is hit the spring here, come over to our right. We're going to magnet dash off you, Jester swipe, do a little bit of an energy dash there, cancel our fall damage, take a faceplant, that's fine. And then we're going to collect this little bit of energy just for some safety, because we want to do a hyper dash off you. Okay, well, never mind. It's fine. We're going to just back it up to come on over to where we wanted to go in the first place. Because up here is that, and great. I'm glad we hit that hyper dash at least, because that one is going to send us absolutely flying. We'll want to come all the way up here. We're going to stabilize. Come through the ramps. And we'll do a huge launch here to come on up here. As you can see, target spotted. Hyper dash. And we're coming up on the end of the stage. Never mind. It's fine. We'll just back it up again. As you can tell, Spark is a game of backups. If you don't know your backups, you're gonna get owned. That's just how it be. As we enter into the goal, that's fine. That stage is really difficult because, well, the random stuff that is placed everywhere. It's fine. Lake Pepper hates us. It's cool. Thankfully, got through it just fine. Planetary Stripe is a really fun stage. Speaking of fun stages, this one is not. Hyper Athlete is another banger of a stage, casually. Oh boy, this is actually the hardest stage in the, I'd like to say the entire game, but I mean, Utopia Shelter exists in the main game, so hey, it's fine. This stage has a lot of hyper dashes to skip a lot of interior segments. You can see here that we are on this ship and everything is going haywire because of course it is. And we'll want to kind of navigate around all of the chaos by doing hyper dashes. Yippee! Hop on up here. We're gonna slow down for this. And then you can see in the distance, we're gonna swap the FARC here just to be safe. This ship, both of these ships have insides. We just don't want to go to them because they're really frustrating. I'm gonna slow down here, drop down. By the way, I don't think I've collected any checkpoints, so if I die here, we're going back to the start of the stage. But we're looking good. Yeah, that was a really good outside. That space section is the harder section of this stage, in my opinion, because hyperdashes are difficult. Either way, we're going to hop on up here to grab this little capsule, and then we're going to come through this section. This section is very kind of weird because you can see the little, can I please magnet dash? Okay, sure. That enemy just decided not to cooperate. You can see the little gravity pool that we have. We have less gravity, so we gotta be a bit careful here. Here, we're going to hyper dash off that enemy and immediately get hit. Nice. That's fine. We do want to come to the side here, and we're gonna do another cloud dash. Oh, well, I think that was the wrong enemy, actually. It's fine. We'll take it more casually. We want to save up our energy. I know I have full energy, but we want to do a cloud dash at the top here. Also, this entire interior segment here is not skippable, as far as we know, at least. Someone please find a skip for this. It's pretty awful. But it is super chaotic, which makes it very tricky to traverse. As you can tell, I'm falling all the way down. We're gonna... Okay. No, this game is deciding not to cooperate with me here. That's fine. I see how it is, Spark. It's chill. We're gonna come on up here. Like I said, this stage is super difficult, so I'm not too worried about things going wrong here. If things went wrong here, that just means, hey, it's a good day because things we're still going. We're not playing all that bad. Okay. We're gonna get hit by the big old laser. You typically want to make it to the end of this this segment before you get hit by that, but that's cool. Alright, Roman, I'm gonna give you one last chance for messages before we go into the last stage. In the last stage, there's quite a lot to explain, so hit us.
I can't physically hit you right now, but I will give you a high five if I could, don't worry. Now, I'd just like to remind you always what you're watching, because this is Fast-Paced Events, founded in January 2022. Their mission is to promote mental health and LGBTQ+ awareness through speedrunning, and to raise money for mental health and LGBTQ+ charities by beating games at a fast pace, as you see right now, because shovelclaws is rocking it. You can find more information about the team by checking out the Twitter account over twitter.com/fastpacedevents.
So real. This team is great. I've been good friends with a lot of them for a while, and hey, I got to help a lot with this event, so great cause, great people. Get your donations in for Queer Lives, because hey, we're all great people. But yeah, this last stage is going to be quite a bit different. Remember that cloud dash I was talking about? Okay, we need to actually hop on down here to grab you. Unfortunate, but that's fine. That cloud dash I was talking about is going to come in pretty handy here. Need to just get back on top of here. There we go. What we're going to do here is collect energy all the way out here, immediately turn around, because we don't care about going the regular route. And then we're gonna beat up this enemy just to make sure that he doesn't get in the way. That's right, this game has combat. It's a lot more prevalent in any percent, but in Spark 2 stages, we're gonna just clear out this guy. And then hope. And are we high enough? We are not. Okay, that's unlucky. You can see there what we were going for was a huge cloud dash all the way to the top of the stage there. This stage has, you can see it, big old giant reactor, and we're supposed to be tasked with running all around it. However, we can just go up it if we can get enough height. So that's what we're trying to do. You'd see a bunch of platforming all the way out there. So it's fine. We're gonna go for this until we get it, because it literally saves like 2 minutes. This time, though, we won't kill our friend. Okay, well, now we will, because we missed the dash, and this guy should give us enough energy to... There we go. In order to do it again. If not, we do have enemies behind us, so we have plenty of backups here. There we go. Alright. Attempt number 2. There we go. Looks like we're getting enough height here. We're going to do a little energy dash, swap over to Fark, so we can wall run along this segment. And boom, there we go. We're going to actually, real fast, just make sure we have the checkpoint for safety. And we have more chaos. We are coming up on time. Time will be when we hit the goal for this stage and the in-game timer starts. This and all Spark stage or all Spark categories use in-game time, so all the menuing is removed. Very useful. We come to hell itself, or I guess heaven. It definitely looks more like heaven. This part of the stage is basically an instant death trap if this happens. We're just gonna have to sit here for a little bit. This whole ring of light will just keep damaging you until you die, and yep. We did it. It's okay. After this is the... Okay, cool. After this is the goal ring, so once we get to navigating through this, we will be able to... Okay. We're gonna... Okay, please don't fall. We're gonna just take it slow, actually. Never mind, I lied. Please! Okay. You can see the kind of trouble that you get into when you're going against literal, like, temperature of the sun level surfaces. I don't know how this, like, metal beam is standing up to it, but it's fine. Spark is nothing but a weak little guy, so he gotta... Are you kidding? I was right there! Okay, it's fine. Meltdown, but it's cool. Meltdown literally, it's too hot. But we're gonna get through it. This is fine. Honestly, if any portion just goes terribly, terribly wrong, this is the portion that makes the most sense, at least. I was not even touching it. Okay, sure. Sure. We're gonna take a breather. And make sure we actually get through this. Okay. We're gonna... I promise Spark controls a lot better than this. I don't know what I'm hitting. Actually, you know what? Spark has a weird bug where sometimes his dashes will just, like, distort you. Anyways, time coming up, and time. Okay. Whew.
Yeah,
that was a run, alright. Either way, that is Spark the Electric Jester. I won't keep us too much longer. You can find me over at shovelclaws on everything, mainly on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I've been playing a lot of this game recently. I did mention it at the end of my runs on Friday, but this game has taken over my life. I'm happy I got to show off this category, even though went to kind of a dumpster fire at the end there. It's chill. We're fine. We got through it. We're good. Otherwise, big shoutouts to the Spark community. You guys have absolutely destroyed this game in every way imaginable, this category included. It's great. I love this game so much. Y'all mean the world to me. Thank you for watching Spark. Hope you enjoyed it, regardless of how things went there. It's chill. We're fine. Thank you so much for two fast-paced events for having me again and letting me be on a bunch of volunteer roles. Y'all are great. Love ya. Otherwise, Roman, go ahead, take us out. I know there are a bunch of runs later today that are going to be exciting.
Think of like take us out. Okay. Silence.
That's twice that you've made a joke about me making you threaten us, which is great. We have a chemistry here, Roman.
Heck yeah! You lovelies, do stay tuned. There are more amazing runs coming up. I'll be with you in a second after the transmission. Stay hydrated, stay awesome, stay fresh. I'll see you all in a bit.